another I Will podcast. Is your host Santiago Brito here again today for another amazing episode. Today's episode, on your way to work, when you get home from work in the gym, is about imagination. I want you to realize that imagination is very powerful. But sometimes we don't realize when imagination is working maybe against us. When you think of something you like, your imagination will run wild and create these ideas and scenarios that are in your favor, and they create an emotion and they help you create and manifest things in this world. But I also want you to know that when you think of the worst that can happen, and if it's part of an unhealed part of yourself, your imagination can also run wild in the other direction. And I've been a victim of it. I have friends and family who I hear sometimes go the other way, the whole way, and imagination just runs wild. And I try to explain to them that don't allow your imagination to run wild. What you think is going to happen and believe is going to happen, it's all in your head, really. We can calculate consequences, but when it comes to imagination running in the other direction, you're most likely overcalculating the negative that's going to come out of any situation. Because I've been there. And I realized that imagination is a very powerful tool when you use it for your benefit, because whenever I have a thought, which I said aren't your thoughts, that pops into my head and I'm able to observe it, but it's something that I want or I'm inspired by or is positive, I attach to it immediately and I'm like, yes, those are the things that I like. And yeah, if this happens, this is gonna go this way and I'm gonna be living this way and everything's gonna be good. And I believe that's a good part of the imagination. I believe that that's a way to use it in a constructive way instead of a destructive way. I want you to realize that your imagination is that, an imagination. How it's going to turn out is going to be, completely different from what you imagine. Not in a bad way and also in a good way. I don't want you to think that you don't have a power to create, because you do. But the imagination runs wild. It creates things out of the blue, things that aren't there or are there. And, I am somebody who I recently went through something, and it was like something real personal, and my imagination just, it ran so wild. I was seeing how my imagination took me to past experiences, to things that has never happened, but the worst of it, my new situation, how that situation can affect the current situation. And man, it's like it'll fuck your head up in a sense, because you like, I sat there for a while, and if I wasn't somebody who's mentally strong how I am, and like I'm able to pause and really question, like, whoa, where did that come from? What's up with those thoughts? How did my imagination go that way? And I had to realize that it came from an insecurity. It was like I had to realize that it came from an insecurity. It came from a point of something unhealed within, and my imagination just ran with it. And next thing you know, I'm feeling these emotions and these feelings, and they weren't true. They weren't real, And then I've also had it where it's worked in my favor. I had deals that I was like, you know what, it's gonna work out because I see myself doing this, I see myself doing that. And sometimes imagination can make you a little bit over optimistic, but I always maintain optimistic to something to happen in my favor. Whether it's I learn something, whether it's I gain something, I think that everything's always working in our favor, but imagination will make you suffer more mentally than what really is. I hear a lot of people say, man, but what if this happens? What if it don't work? What if that? And I said, there goes your imagination running in the wrong direction. Use your imagination constructively. It's going to work. It's going to benefit you. It's going to be something that's going to help you, because even if it goes wrong, I'm a big believer that things that go wrong or go left are asking for your attention. I'm in a business that has a lot of moving parts, and when something goes wrong, I'm always looking at myself. And I say, okay, how could I have made this better? How could this have gone a different way? And anytime I approach things from that point of view, it's still a gain for me. It's still a way for me to capitalize on it. And that's why you can't let anything feel like it's something negative, because it's not. Of course things happen, but I feel like every time, if you can sit back and say, how can I make this, where I hold responsibility and I put myself into it. And that's where I've grown. But I've also become very aware of my imagination and how it could run in the other way. Even my own mother sometimes she'll worry, and I think imagination is not just about faith, but you got to catch the imagination. Like you really have to be able to be in the situation and say, hold on, like hold up, like what is this? Why am I thinking these things? And that comes from really sitting with yourself, sitting in a room quietly. Like I meditate, and meditations has helped me realize that a lot of thoughts are not my thoughts. I think all thoughts are not your thoughts. I think that we attract certain thoughts, and we could be around certain people, and those people's energy attract certain thoughts. They say that the human body is like a transmitting field, and whatever energy you're on or whatever people are around you, it'll send thoughts to you. I'll give an example. The other day I was in the car with my friend, and out of nowhere, like I had the thought, like change the radio station. You know, like I didn't say this to that person, but I realized that he immediately went to change the radio station. And I was like, yo, what made you change the radio station? He's like, I don't know. I just thought about changing the radio station. I want to listen to something else. And I was like, I was thinking the same exact thing. And it was like a aha moment for me where I realized how connected we all are. And we don't realize that we're all sharing energy. That's why they say be around your energy. And even if you're around energy that's not your energy, stand your ground in your energy. Because I could be around energy that's really not my energy or not right energy, or energy that's just not on my frequency. And the thoughts will pop in my head, ideas will pop in my head, and I'll be like, that's not me. That's definitely not me. And I'll release it immediately. I become so mentally powerful where the thought can come in and I'm already releasing it in another direction. I'm already letting it go. I'm already freeing it from my mind, because if I allow it to sit there, it's like a seed. And for me, that seed will grow really fast, and then imagination captures it. And imagination is like, let's build on this. That's what imagination does. It builds on anything that you allow in your mind to take form. And that's why it's so important for you to realize that meditation and understanding the imagination in your mind is very important, because our imagination can overanalyze and can also underanalyze. You want to be at a neutral space where, okay, it could happen, it could work, and, okay, it could also not work, but also I'm going to learn. Like, and I think when you treat it from that point, it's like God level. It's not a place of hurt, oh my God, or you panic or you're overexcited. If it works, you're like, okay, you have to always remember the element of luck that's in everything that we do, because even though we're humans and we're experiencing this life, like there's a lot of element of luck. And I'm not a big believer in luck, but I'm starting to understand that for us to be here and be alive in this moment in time is really a miracle. So that's an element of luck. Even though some people might say, oh no, I don't believe in luck, I really believe in hard work. Yeah, you can work hard, bust your ass. I do it all the time. Things will still go left, and then, so I always give my goodness to luck, hard work, of course, and an understanding of maintaining a neutral stance when it comes to things. So yeah, that's my episode on imagination, man. I hope you guys can take something from it and understand that when things are going wrong or going right, don't allow your